Hello, all you film freaks and movie maniacs out there. My name is Nolan Carr, and I'd like to welcome you to the go-to podcast for all things cinema. But before you can ask any questions, just sit back, relax, as I present to you a Strawlane Studio Productions Critiquing with Carr. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another great edition of the show here on Critiquing with Carr for Memorable Movie Monday. As always, if you've enjoyed episodes such as this one, do us a favor by subscribing on YouTube, following us on the audio platforms, clicking that thumbs up or like buttons can tell us you enjoy these episodes, turning on post notifications so you can stay up to date on those platforms when new episodes release, as well as clicking that share out so you can continue to help grow the podcast with our friends and family. Also, if you want other ways of staying up to date with the show, do us a favor by following us on Instagram at Critiquing with Carr. I say all that because on this week's very special edition of the show, the number 75 episode of the podcast, I proudly present to you my review of the classic yet interesting film Amadeus. And with that being said, let's begin. This movie was directed by the legend Milos Forman. The screenwriter for this movie was Peter Shaffer. It was based on Amadeus by Peter Shaffer, as well as Mozart and Salieri by Alexander Pushkin. The movie was produced by Paul Zaentz, and the cast for Amadeus is as follows: F. Murray Abraham, Tom Hulsey, Elizabeth Berridge, Simon Callow, Roy Dossry, Christine Ebersol, Jeffrey Jones, and Charles Kay. The cinematographer for this movie was Miroslav Andrusek. The movie was co-edited by Nina Danbeck and Michael Chandler. The production company for this film was the Saul Zaentz Company. The film was distributed by Orion Pictures in the United States and Thorn EMI Screen Entertainment internationally. The movie was released on September 6th of 1984 in Los Angeles and on September 19th of 1984 everywhere else in the United States nationally. The runtime for this movie was 161 minutes. The budget was $8 million US. And finally, last but not least, the grand box office total for this film was $90 million US. The accolades for Amadeus are as follows. At the Academy Awards, the movie won for Best Picture, Milos Forman for Best Director, F. Murray Abraham for Best Leading Actor, Peter Shaffer for Best Adapted Screenplay, Patricia von Brandenstein and Carol Kearney for Best Production Design, Theodora Pistek for Best Costume Design, Paula Blank and Dick Smith for Best Makeup and Hairstyling, as well as Mark Barriger, Thomas Scott, Todd Barclaycard, and Christopher Newman for Best Sound Mixing. At the Golden Globe Awards, the movie won for Best Drama Picture, Milos Forman for Best Director, F. Murray Abraham for Best Drama Leading Actor, and Peter Shaffer for Best Screenplay. At the BAFTA Awards, Miroslav Andrusek won for Best Cinematography, Nina Dranovic and Michael Chandler for Best Editing, Paula Blank and Dick Smith for Best Makeup and Hair, as well as John Nutt and Christopher Newman and Mark Berger for Best Sound. At the Caesar Awards, the movie won for Best Foreign Film. At the Los Angeles Film Critics Awards, the movie won for Best Picture, Milos Forman for Best Director, F. Murray Abraham for Best Actor, and Peter Shaffer for Best Screenplay. At the David D. Donatello Awards, Milos Forman won for Best Director of a Foreign Film, the movie for Best Foreign Film, and Tom Hulsey for Best Foreign Actor. At the Directors Guild of America Awards, Milos Forman won for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in a Feature Film. And finally, last but not least, at the Japan Academy Film Prize Awards, the movie also won for Best Foreign Language Film. And now, it comes time for one of my two favorite parts, which is now list off the top 10 highest-grossing films for that year's release, being 1984's Amadeus. Starting off at the bottom of this list at 10th was Splash. It was distributed by Buena Vista Distribution. Its worldwide gross is $70 million, and stars Tom Hanks, Daryl Hannah, and Eugene Levy. Coming in 9th was Footloose. It was distributed by Paramount Pictures. Its worldwide gross was $80 million, and stars Kevin Bacon, Laurie Singer, and Diane Wiest. Coming in 8th was Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. It was distributed by Paramount Pictures. Its worldwide gross was $87 million, and stars William Shatner, DeForest Kelley, and James Doohan. Coming in 7th was Romancing the Stone. It was distributed by 20th Century Fox. Its worldwide gross was $115.1 million, and stars Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito. Coming in 6th was The Karate Kid. It was distributed by Columbia Pictures. Its worldwide gross was $131 million, and stars Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, and Elizabeth Shue. Coming in 5th place at the halfway mark was Police Academy. It was distributed by Warner Bros. Its worldwide gross was $150 million, and stars Steve Guttenberg, Kim Cattrall, and Bubba Smith. Coming in 4th place was Gremlins. It was distributed by Warner Bros. Its worldwide gross was $212 million, and stars Zach Gilligan, Phoebe Cates, and Hoyt Axton. Coming in 3rd place with the bronze medal was Beverly Hills Cop. It was distributed by Paramount Pictures. Its worldwide gross was $234 million, and stars Eddie Murphy, Judge Reinhold, and the late great John Ashton. Coming in 2nd with the silver medal was Ghostbusters. It was distributed by Columbia Pictures. Its worldwide gross was $296.6 million, and stars Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Sigourney Weaver. And finally, coming in as the number one highest-grossing film from 1984 with the gold medal was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. It was distributed by Paramount Pictures. Its worldwide gross was $333.1 million, and it stars Harrison Ford, Kate Capshaw, and Amrish Puri. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, my review of 1984's Amadeus. Milos Forman's Amadeus is a cinematic exploration of the tumultuous relationship between the genius Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and the envious Antonio Salieri. While the film is celebrated for its dramatic storytelling and its sumptuous period details, it also presents a complex, sometimes frustrating portrayal of artistic rivalry and personal downfall. One of the film's strengths is its engaging introduction, Early scenes depicting Antonio Salieri's recounting of his childhood, juxtaposed with his experiences observing Mozart's rise, set the stage for a deeply personal and dramatic narrative. Salieri's jealousy is palpable and relatable, providing a compelling backdrop to the story. His father's lack of support and the subsequent comparison with Mozart's success create a foundation for Salieri's intense envy, adding depth to his character. The film's portrayal of Salieri's envy and frustration is another highlight. His complex emotions, fueled by his perceived inadequacy compared to Mozart's natural genius, add layers to his character. Salieri's internal conflict between admiration and bitterness make him a fascinating, tragic figure. The depiction of Emperor Joseph II's court, with characters like Kapellmeister Bono, Count Orsini Rosenberg, Baron von Swieten, and Count von Strack, enriches the narrative. Each character has a unique flavor to the story, with Baron von Swieten standing out as a supporter of Mozart's innovative music. His character provides a contrasting perspective to the more conservative views of others in the court. The narrative structure, which alternates between Salieri's present and his reflections on the past, is effectively utilized. The flashbacks provide a nuanced version of Salieri's experiences with Mozart, offering insight into his growing resentment and the complex dynamics of their relationship. The film also excels in depicting the intricate world of 18th century Vienna. The costuming, set design, and attention to historical details immerse the viewers in the period, enhancing the overall viewing experience. The final scenes, where Mozart's declining health and deteriorating mental state are portrayed, are particularly powerful. The emotional weight of his passing, juxtaposed with his unceremonious burial, underscores the tragedy of his life and the enduring impact of his music. However, not all elements of Amadeus resonate equally. Halsey's portrayal of Mozart, while energetic and full of flamboyance, sometimes feels over the top. His depiction of Mozart's eccentricities can come across as caricatured, detracting from the potential depth of the character. This portrayal contrasts with F. Murray Abrams' more subdued and introspective Salieri, creating an imbalance that affects the film's overall dynamic. The film's depiction of Mozart's personal life, particularly his childish behavior and his wife Constance's actions, can feel tedious and repetitive. The portrayal of Constance's interactions with Salieri, especially her resorting to prostitution to secure positions for Mozart, feels melodramatic and detracts from the film's overall impact. This subplot, while intended to add complexity, instead feels like a distraction from the core narrative. The film's length is also a point of contention. At over 2 hours and 40 minutes, Amadeus occasionally feels drawn out. The pacing issues become more pronounced in the final hour, with struggles to maintain the engagement established in the earlier scenes. Additionally, the film's portrayal of the aging Salieri, particularly the makeup used to age F. Murray Abrams' character, is somewhat unconvincing. The makeup effects, which attempt to depict Salieri's advanced age, instead result in a look that can be more distracting than immersive. Overall, Amadeus presents a compelling but uneven exploration of artistic rivalry and personal turmoil. The film's strong performances, particularly by F. Murray Abraham, and its rich depiction of the period make it an engaging watch. However, Halsey's portrayal of Mozart in the film's extended runtime and melodramatic subplots can detract from its overall impact. While the film provides a fascinating look at the complexities of genius and envy, it occasionally struggles with pacing and character development. Despite these flaws, Amadeus remains a powerful exploration of the interplay between talent, ambition, and personal demons. The film's musical elements and period details are noteworthy, making it a memorable, if imperfect, cinematic experience. With that being said, as we wrap up yet another review, it both pains and greatly pleases me to rank this film a measly 6.5 out of 10 on the Diamond Dave scale. And with that being said, my film freaks and cinephiles, as we wrap up 75 editions of the show, if you've enjoyed episodes such as this one, do us a favor by subscribing on YouTube, following us on the audio platforms, clicking a thumbs up or like button so you can tell us you enjoy these episodes, turning on post notifications so you can stay up to date on those platforms when episodes release, as well as clicking that share out so you can continue with the podcast with our friends and family. Also, if you want other ways of staying up to date with the show, do us a favor by following us on Instagram at Critique with Carr. And with that being said, my film freaks and cinephiles, as always, take care, and especially happy viewing.